It is, what time is it? 6:09, 6:10, something like that. But yeah, we worked on this the other day. We started this yesterday. I'm gonna try to get a little bit further in it. I want to finish it today. I don't really want to. I don't want to spend so much time on this painting because it is kind of just like a toss away. Let me bring this to the other side. But yeah, yesterday we streamed for quite a while and it went pretty good. So I think I might try to stream for a while today too. Maybe like an hour or something like that. But I'm using Liquitex Heavy Body. And then I also have, hold on, let me find it. Just give me a second, I gotta find this paint. Here it is. I also have this Liquitex, or no, Golden So Flat, which is so weird. I painted with this yesterday, and I thought acrylic dries, but this stuff is still probably still workable, I think. So I'm gonna see how that works. But yeah, I don't have the reference up because I'm just going to, I'm gonna free ball it from here. I don't think I need the reference at this point. I'm gonna try to darken some of these shadows in here. Yeah, I'm not very confident with acrylic paint. So I think that's a good opportunity to show you guys so that, I don't know, it's probably better to have an average representation of what it looks like rather than having like a master show you. So okay, I think the goal here is to try and have my style in acrylics, which is gonna be kind of weird because I typically work with gouache. If you guys don't know, I typically work with gouache. But yeah, I'm gonna try to kind of match my style, which is pretty much just like, I don't know, what is my style? I guess like cartoony, like sort of cartoony landscapes with a lot of ultramarine blue, I guess. I guess that's how I would explain my style. I don't quite know if this shadow is really readable as a shadow. I think it kind of looks like a blue line on the ocean. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a bit. I think that looks okay. Of course, there's a lot more work to be done. Another big thing I think that I should really work on is these clouds, the kind of intermediary along the mountainside clouds. Those are kind of a little wishy-washy, so I'm gonna try to, oh, I don't even have any, here we go. I gotta add some white to my palette. So I would assume, I don't have the reference with me, but I would assume that the clouds are going to be brightest at the point where they meet with the mountains. I would assume that, I'm not sure. Because we're going to try to make them brightest here. And honestly, they're going to be pretty bright a couple places throughout the painting. I'm going to see if I can... I kind of like just going not with the reference now. Hey AJ, yeah, that is AJ. I don't know if I've ever seen you in the streams. I'm glad to see you here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna. It's really fun not using a reference. Well, that's not true. I used a reference for the beginning and for like most of it, but I think now I'm gonna kind of freehand it, and we're just gonna see if I can't make something that looks decent from here. That's kind of what I do anyways when I paint. I definitely work from real life and from the reference like a lot. But when I get to a certain point, like colors and certain things, I kind of just make it up. Because I think it's more fun that way. One thing I really like the sort of wispy, like the wispy things that are going on here. It's hard to see. I'm not sure if you guys can even see that, but just some of like the wispy brush strokes, I really like that. So I want to try to see if I can redo that down here. I don't really know if I can, because I'm not honestly sure if that was intentional, to be honest with you. Okay, I like it, I like it, I like it for sure. Okay, and then once I get through with the brightest white, which I don't think we probably shouldn't take it all the way over here. Maybe just, there we go. Let's go in with something a little bit less bright white. Then I guess work backwards from that white. How did I do that wispy thing? I kind of wish well, I guess I have the live stream. I could check how I did it. I'm gonna mix in a little bit of that golden so flat stuff, which is like an acrylic, but it's flat, man. Hey, Tat the Tank. It's good to see you, man. Okay. I really wish I remembered how I did the little wispy bits. Maybe I did something like this. No, that's really thick. I have no clue. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. You know what I probably did? I probably had a drier, harder brush. Let's see. I have. Sorry if that was really loud. I have this cheap set of acrylics, or this cheap set of brushes from Michaels. Okay. Also, I think, is Michaels just an American brand, or Michaels, is that just an American thing? I don't know if people have that outside of the U.S. Michaels, but they're just cheap brushes, whatever. I'm gonna see if I can get that wispy. There we go. That's a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit darker and a little bit greener to match with the sky for a bit. I probably should have somewhere to. Let's see. I have. Okay, let's put this up real quick. I'm gonna put this up so I can have somewhere to swatch. I don't know if you guys do this, but I always have like a. Usually, like in my plein air sketches, I'll do it on the back side of the page or on the on the other side of the page, the other page behind it, whatever. You guys know what I mean. I like to have like a separate page to just swatch the colors on. Okay, let's see how that works. Is this the no? Here it is. Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. That was smart. I use hairdryer so I can dry it faster, and do thin layers. This stuff dries pretty quick, actually, surprisingly. I think acrylic dries faster than gouache, to be honest with you. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry. Yeah, I think acrylic dries faster than gouache. At least from what I'm experiencing. Okay. Oh, also, you know what I forgot? I also I have another thing of paint that just came today. I think pretty sure it's like a bright yellow or something like that. Jeez, it's tape. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see what it is. Oh yeah, it's okay. Oh, okay, I remember what I got now. This is a cadmium free. That's pretty cool. I didn't even that's pretty cool. So it's not like a toxic. I'm not gonna breathe this in and die. Or breathe in and get sick or whatever. Cadmium free yellow light. I might, well, I don't really need this right now, but I'll definitely get to use this later. Okay, so I'm gonna try and, something is still kind of off about the bottom area. So I'm gonna take a brighter white, a little bit brighter grayish white. There you go. See, this is where I would typically put in like an outline or something around this, but I don't know if that's gonna really hurt the visual appeal, I guess. You know what? I'm not gonna put it on an outline. I'm gonna go ahead and try something that I thought would work. Let's do. I'm gonna try to match this color as best I can, and then we're going to. No, we're gonna try and kind of block it out a little bit to make it a little more structured. That's close. This was supposed to be a like 1 hour painting that has now turned into, actually we spent like an hour and a half yesterday, and today we've only spent like a couple minutes on it, but this was supposed to be a very quick painting. That's close enough. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, now it's too dark. Or too light, sorry. I have this piece of canvas board on a little bit of on like a little bit of sticky tack, or a little bit. It's actually a kneaded eraser, but I think that should help me not have to keep holding down the board. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. My phone was dying, running out of battery. I'm honestly not a huge fan of that color, but I just pushed it a little bit too far, and then I had to mix it in. Had to make the whole sky that color now. Okay, also this is a watercolor brush that I've kind of sacrificed to acrylic now, because I don't have anything else to work that thin. So this is the best we got. I definitely don't feel as confident with acrylic. I definitely feel like I don't know. I feel like everything wobbles and wibbles, and like where you put stuff isn't necessarily where it's gonna go. But I'm trying to make the background a little bit more intricate. Yeah, AJ, I'm on the same page. Yeah, acrylic is. I think I want to really get into it though, because I would like to sell my art at some point. But yeah, gouache seems so much more like. I feel like my mind works, at least probably now because I've been doing it for a while now. But I feel like my mind works more like how gouache works. Like the opacity is like almost 100%. You can, but you can also change the opacity. I think gouache is really cool. Also, it's not as popular, so I feel like a hipster when I when I use gouache, because it's not one of the big three: watercolor, oil, or acrylic. Yeah, a lot of this. Okay, so some of this acrylic paint dried overnight, but some of it's still good to go, which is I didn't expect that. I thought it would all be like hard as a rock. Well, I guess hard as plastic. Right? I really have no clue what I'm doing, but I think I just want something more interesting with the mountains to go on. That might have been too bright. I think that was too bright. Well, I guess we're going with it now. I don't like that. Okay. I need to reevaluate how I'm doing this. I think the idea I want it to look like is like there's like moving curves down the mountain. And that's something I've never been very good at, I guess, particularly. Like, I've literally had that issue in other paintings before, too. Like, making mountains look like they're just natural looking mountains. I would kind of struggle with that a lot. But you know what? This is the time we're going to get it bright perfectly. This is I can just feel it. Not really. I feel like this might be a bad one. Okay, I don't mind that. I'm gonna try to put in like a middle value between the bright yellow green and the kind of dark muddy brown sort of color. I think if I put a midtone in there, it won't look too bad. Let's see. That's all right. I was thinking about. I still think I'm gonna do it probably. I think I might sign up for another 5K. I did one. I know this is so off topic, but this is what I want to talk about. I ran a 5K earlier this year. I think January probably. And that was my first one since like high school, like when we used to run when I used to run for cross country. And that was my first 5K in a long time. And in some ways, it was like just as bad as I remembered, but in some ways, it was like, in some ways, it was actually kind of fun. So I think I might do another one, honestly. Okay, is that convincing? Is that a convincing mountain? I think it looks decent. I think it looks decent. So I guess I can kind of just like make up whatever I want, and hopefully it looks relatively mountain-like. There we go. Okay, if we zoom out, no, no, no. I thought, okay, no, we need to do more, but still. I thought when we zoomed out, it was gonna be like, oh wow. I can see something kind of going on, but definitely needs more work. I kind of like the idea of it being like focused on like this section of the painting. So I wouldn't mind having this be like the darkest point, and then everything else kind of fading out from the sides. I don't mind that. Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. The most high contrast area is gonna be right here in this center right here. Let's get a dark color. Also, I didn't buy a black, so I think I have an apple barrel black, like a really cheap black acrylic paint. But other than that, I am not using any black paint. I think I also should fix the land or the water, because that seems a little bit boring. I'm gonna mix up a lighter green, sort of tealish color. That looks like a gray. And I think we might need a dry brush a little bit. Let's see if it. No. Okay, that's the same color, but let's see if we can go a little bit bluer and more interesting. I'm gonna see if we can go a little bit more blue and a little bit more interesting, and then see if we can just see if we can't make this look a little, not like I just painted one flat line. You know what I mean? This painting is moving still. I think incomplete mixes are going to be a really good thing to do here. I think that's what I'm trying to work on. Just, at least not work on, but that's what I'm trying to push in this little bit. Incomplete mixes, and just make the color a little more interesting than just a flat teal. Maybe build up a little bit of texture too, see if that is interesting. Okay, so logically speaking, when we get closer to this view, the water's gonna get darker. Let's see. Is it gonna get darker? It's gonna get. What is it gonna get? More high contrast, I guess. I suppose. Not necessarily lighter or darker, but more higher contrast, I guess. I don't really know how a lot of these art rules like work, like or just I guess observational rules. I don't really know how a lot of them work. I think in my mind it makes sense that it would get more high contrast, and that the darks would be darker, but the lights would also be lighter. I think that's how I'm gonna go ahead and try to approach it. So in that, I'm gonna make the water get a little darker and a little greener. Let's see. Just a little bit. We don't have to make it crazy. Maybe we do need to make it crazy. And just quite a bit darker. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to blend that up into the other color. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, that's it. Maybe blend that a little bit into there. And then we need to figure out what we're doing with this shadow because it doesn't look very convincing. There's a hair in my painting. I feel like this looks a little bit better in person than it does on the camera. Which is weird, but not the weirdest thing ever, I guess. Okay, you know what? I think even though the reference had these two shadows sort of connect, I think we should take the shadow up until like here and then kind of chop it off. Because I don't think this straight line thing is working. I don't think it's very appealing. So I'm gonna mix up another batch of that, like sky, or not sky, the watercolor. And we're gonna see if we can't just kind of chop this shadow up. There you go, just kind of truncate it like that. That's not bad. Let's see if we can kind of take it back even further. There we go. Okay, let's kind of patch this up. And then I think while we're there, while we're working with this color, I think we should do something with highlights, like just some sort of movement on the water. I've never really been a water master with painting. I like watercolor, but painting actual water is pretty gnarly. Actually, I can't think of too many times I've painted water. Well, that's not true. I paint water all the time. But I can't think of too many times that I've like crushed like a painting of water. I'm gonna kind of feather out these edges of this. Oh, that's too light. Kind of feather out some of these edges This looks like a mess. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of looks like a little bit of a mess, but it's kind of expected. I'm not really an acrylic painter. Oh, you know what I forgot? My desk is gonna be a mess after this, and I can't. You can't wash off acrylic, right? I don't think you can wash off acrylic, and my desk is gonna be splattered with paint. Again, I'm gonna try to feather out this little line. There you go. I feel like the blue is not like. I feel like the blue doesn't really hit the same as it does with gouache. I feel like the ultramarine, when I paint with gouache, like the blue like kicks you in the face a little bit. But this kind of just feels like meh. Kind of feels like whatever. But maybe that's me. Maybe I need to work in with more with I don't know. It also doesn't feel that opaque either. Okay, do we want to do anything special? I think we could add in like a plane or something. But honestly, I can't get over the clouds in the back. On the lowest clouds, I can't get over them. I feel like they don't look right. I'm gonna try and mix in, or just kind of place strategically some little bits of like a pretty pale blue, and see if we can't change some of this shape, I guess. I think all the white looks a little bit too predictable. So I'm gonna tap this color in, and then I'm gonna go over it with like a step up, a step lighter, then maybe one step lighter too, and then maybe we'll go one step darker at the end of it. Okay, now we're gonna go with one step lighter. We're gonna mix in quite a bit of white. See if we can't kind of move that color a little bit, or move the value, I guess I should say. This is definitely not a tutorial, even though sometimes I start speaking like a tutorial. It's a tutorial. This definitely is not. I have no clue what I'm doing. Well, I have some clue, but I definitely am not trying to tell you how to paint. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere with that. I feel like with clouds, they're not supposed to be like super textured. They're supposed to be like fluffy and loose, and like you did them in like one stroke. But I'm not quite at that level to do that, so we're gonna have to deal with kind of patchy, like patchwork, spot and dot what's that called? What's it called? I think James Gurney had something called like a spot and a dot. Dots and spot? I have no clue. But something like that, where we're just placing the values as like little dots, little patchworks. Okay. That's starting to look a little better. I think I'm gonna put in a little bit of a couple highlights on the water. And then we still have a lot of work to do in this painting. But I don't know if I'll be able to, if I really want to stick it out today and finish this. At least on stream. So I have an idea where I'm going to try and, I guess, like put some lights over the dark and then some darks over the light. And I always struggle with water, I feel like, but I'm gonna see if that doesn't kind of do something cool. That might be too dark. Let's see if we can go a tad lighter. That's too teal. Now I'm gonna go a step lighter and then a step darker probably. I may or may not do the step darker. I don't know why, but something in my brain just told me to start doing this little dry brush thing. I think it might work. We'll see. We'll see if I can trust the little voice in my head that tells me to do random brush strokes. That's too bright. Then I want to do a couple just like absolute white, like a touch white highlights. Be kind of sparing with these. You know what? I think we're missing something in the sky. I think we could do birds. That's a little stereotypical or like a little cheesy, but we could also do we could do a plane. Or we could do like a ray of sunlight cutting through, but that would be very difficult. What do I want to do? I guess while we're thinking about that, we should kind of work more on the mountains. But I think we do need something in the sky, just so it's not so boring. I think maybe a plane would be really good, but um, I would definitely have to look up a reference for that. I don't think I'm ready to just freehand a plane. Yeah, you know what? Maybe yeah, I think I'm gonna draw a plane. Let's see. Well, let's see what it would look like if I freehanded it. Maybe we could do like some sort of like something like this. No, definitely, I definitely don't want to put that on the painting. Maybe something like. I've done planes before, but they're usually from a reference photo. Those all like semi look like planes, but they mostly just look like birds, I guess, or something. I'm gonna try to make the darkest color I can, and we're gonna put that in the shadows of the clouds. And then we're also gonna put some highlights in there too, or just some lighter values, I guess, not really highlights. This red and this ultramarine doesn't really give me a very strong purple. Kind of gives me like a gray brown. Well, actually, let's see. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of like maybe watered down. It'd be purple. Yeah, it's okay, but it's not giving me like a magenta purple. Okay, I might have gone a little bit too far with that kind of outline thing right here, but I kind of had the urge to put it in. Okay, I think that's as far as I'm going to get today. 45 minutes. That's pretty strong, pretty strong. 45 minutes. Yeah, that's probably where I'll leave it at for now. I very well might work on this more today, but I don't think it'll be on stream. Okay, I'm gonna do some little touches and then I'm gonna be out of here. Just a couple little things here and there in the clouds. Okay, there we go. That's where I'm gonna leave it for right now. Could definitely be better. We're definitely gonna finish it, and it'll be like my first real happy with painting. Because I did this one. I forgot to show you guys. I showed it to you yesterday. I did this one, and I feel like it looks very like, I don't know, just rough and tumble, and like I used the same brush over and over and over again. But this one looks, I think, a lot better. So far, at least. It could fall apart right now. But all right, I'm gonna head out. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Thanks to all you guys that watched the live stream. And thank you to you guys that are watching the replay. I appreciate that too. So I'll see you guys later, and bye.